This evening, I will be speaking to you through my own consciousness in a state of inspired speaking, for I'm sure our spirit friends will be influencing the thoughts that I'll be having and sharing with you. In the history of this church, from time to time, major changes took place where the practices that were done at the services would change, the teachings would change, and it was in its own evolution of going from what was known more into the unknown. And that unknown became familiar. And as we proceeded down our path of evolution, we again came to a spot of being of unknownness and new things and change. I am about to introduce to you a change. It is not going to be a radical change because we have started down this path. We have started down the path of understanding that we are divine crystalline energy, that we are having a physical life, but we are spiritual entities in a physical body. So it is the next step of learning how to be the energy, the oneness, and reuniting with the fact that we have lived our lives in separation. In other words, we were taught, most of us, that God was out in a piece of real estate in the sky, an old man on a throne judging us, when in fact, we are all gods of our own. Jesus taught that we are gods. It's in the book of Psalms. It states, ye are gods. But we haven't really been taught how to walk in that path of being a God, of being that divine energy of oneness. So what we are about to embark upon is a practice that allows us to enter into the unity of being God, of being the one I am energy, which we all are naturally. But we don't perceive it that way. Our perception is that it's somewhere else. But we are God. Through happenstance, one evening, as Carol and I have been sitting and doing healing for her sister on an almost nightly basis, Susan St. Jean joined us. And as we talked to her about what techniques we had been using and how they evolved over the couple of weeks that we were doing it, we realized that we were putting limitations on the energy. And therefore, I asked Susan if she would lead us in a session. And what evolved from that session is a recording that we call the consciousness gathering. And in effect, what this does is it's a guided journey. Susan takes us by the hand and leads us into the energy. Now, the words that are being said are important, but the words themselves aren't, because along with the words that are recorded are what Susan calls soul codes. It is the divine energy that speaks directly to the soul and bypasses the mind. It allows the soul to remember that it is divine energy. As you listen to this, it is important to come to the understanding that there's actually two things happening at the same time in this recording. Personally, I've had my issues with becoming the feeling. I've had issues trying to become more sensitive to the feelings of energy, as opposed to what is natural for me to be working with my intellectual side of my brain and analyze things. So it is important for me to explain to you that while it is important to understand what is being said, that should not be the primary goal. And as I learned to become a sponge for the energy that's being generated, that can be accessed through listening to this recording, it is not so much important as what's being said, but to be in the energy and to absorb the energy. Now, for everyone, they will feel the energy differently. For myself, I feel it differently every time I listen to the recording. Sometimes I feel like a drill is drilling right in my third eye. Sometimes I feel the pressure around my head. One evening, I realized that it was an evening after I spent many hours outside doing yard work and wearing a baseball cap. And I came in and listened to this recording with Carol that evening. And in the middle of it, I came to the realization that I wasn't wearing my baseball cap, but it felt like I was, because I felt the pressure as if a baseball cap was on my head. And that's the way the energy affected me that day. It is important to absorb the energy more so than to absorb the words that are being said. It is also important to realize that to be successful in this journey, one must become aware that we have all been saturated for all of our lives in certain teachings, I'll call it brainwashing, that permeates through our society. And it is important to understand that the more you can purge those teachings, the more you will be empowered by this meditation, by this recording. For example, as you know, I have spent most of my adult life studying the Bible, especially where mediumship was being discussed, and studying many versions of the Bible, some 460 some odd. And last December, I came to the realization that the Bible is really rooted so much in the past, and that It is time to put that all aside for myself and to live the teachings that we are now learning and forget about the Bible. The next service that we had, and we were becoming the divine crystalline energy, I could feel the energy double from what I used to feel, just because I left the old teachings. We all have the old teachings. Christianity likes to make people feel that they are inferior, that they're not worthy of this or that we were born in original sin, and that we spend our lives trying to get rid of that sin. It is all brainwashing that has been perpetrated on us because they wanted control over us. It is time to purge all of that. It is time to realize that we are the divine crystalline energy that is unlimited. Unlimited divine crystalline energy, and that is us. One one evening during listening to this meditation, and it talked about, as you will hear, of absorbing the crystalline energy and expanding it out to the universe and being unlimited. And I saw Carl in the picture at Dodona where he's standing with his arms outstretched as if he was Jesus on the cross. And I realized that he did not know why he did that. I said, I'm going to take your picture. And he said, okay. And he posed like this, and I took the picture, and I never really asked him why he stood that way. But now I realize the Spirit inspired him to do that because he was showing us the unlimitedness that we are as divine crystalline energy. At one of Hoyt's seances, a picture came through of a woman in the same position. And as we know now, God energy is both masculine and feminine. And that's why the emphasis on the divine feminine is being resurrected through not only Susan's teachings, but through many other people who are on the planet at this time. Because we have to have the divine energy of both male and female merge again in equality. And therefore, that is what the one I am energy is. It's both masculine and feminine energy in equality. And therefore, this is an important concept for us to understand. And Carl was used as a teacher without his really understanding why he was doing it. But to me, it's evident about 25 years after the fact that when he did it. But now it is evident why he did. It's because these teachings are so important, and Spirit was laying a foundation even back then for us to have this understanding. So it is with great pleasure that we are introducing this recording where Susan leads us into reconnecting and re-experiencing our divine crystalline energy. For when you read it in a book like the Bible that tells you ye are gods, it doesn't tell you how to be in that vibration, how to get to that vibration. But Susan takes us by the hand and leads us there. And the more that you listen to this recording, the more you will be able to experience this energy. Now, this recording was done to assist us to provide energy identification a correct term for healing for other people. And in this recording, you will hear Susan giving you the directive to think briefly about the person who requires assistance at this time, and then just to let it go. Because as you bring them into this divine energy, which is the next sentence she talks about, the energy itself is going to heal people. For if you think about this, if it's very similar to if you have a bottle of water and a bottle of red ink and an eyedropper, and you take a couple of drops of ink and put it in the water, you know that the color will eventually become even all the way through. And this is what we are doing. We are going into and feeling the I am energy, which we are anyhow, but we don't walk around feeling it. We don't walk around acknowledging it as we have our daily lives. But during this meditation, we are accessing it. We are bringing in the people who are in need and who are in imbalance. Their energy needs to be balanced out back into the divine energy, and you are bringing them in, and they automatically will balance out and become the divine energy, just as the red ink spreads throughout all that water and to become a single color. That is what this recording provides us with the opportunity to do. So it is an exciting venture that we are going to be using this in our service. I will also be posting this on our website. So with the links, it'll be actually stored on YouTube, but the links will be on our website, so you can go access it, and you can use this recording whenever you wish. So, and so we are very pleased today to be able to start this new practice. But I wanted to give you a little bit of foundation of how this recording works, and to really stress upon you to allow your soul to absorb the energy and not to be so so focused on the words and understanding each and every word that is being said. For it's not the brain that needs to be absorbing this, it is your soul. And the soul codes embedded in this recording will teach your soul what you need to know. So I am excited to present this to you today.